Music maestro.
For some reason or another, it doesn't want to work.
Bum bum, it's there. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. You're on the line for 20 bucks. Hi guys. It's Jabor from Montreal. Hi. Hi Jabor. Hopes everything's well. And Maggie, Mrs. Calabash, coming to my kitchen. I'm looking outside. It's dull. There's little white globs coming down every so often. And it's Mother's Day this weekend. And I'm thinking, oh yes. Now normally I'm cutting the lawns by Mother's Day. The grass is up. The trilliums are out. I've got one trillium and it's trying to burst. It's there. You can see the white, but it's not in flower. You can see my tulips. And I brought these in this morning. I've had them in the garage and they were tightly budded. And look, in about an hour, the warmth, and they've come out. But spring flowers at last. I've got a cowslip out as well, one cowslip. So let's think about Mother's Day. It's going to be a little bit different this year because we can't see our children. We can't go and see Mum if Mum's living locally. And so let's celebrate. Let's celebrate Mum. Bring out the china. Bring out the glassware. Let's celebrate. Now this is a menu that is husband/child friendly. If the children are older, then they will be able to cook this. They might need a little supervision, but certainly the recipes are up on Mrs. Calabash Cooks on Facebook. Leave the recipes lying around, sort of, you know, I would like to eat this on Sunday. So it's very child sort of husband friendly. And so let's go over it. We're doing a friendly beef ravioli and a Caesar salad to go with that, which is again child friendly because I haven't put raw eggs in the dressing and I haven't put anchovy or anchovy paste in the dressing, and a cannoli dip, which is a rather nice dessert. So let's go over to the cooker. The pot's boiling for the ravioli to go in, so come over with me. Come on, let's go over here. I've got the pot boiling and I've got a beef ravioli here, but you can use any stuffed, a cheese, a 3 cheese ravioli is rather nice, or a cheese and spinach, but this is a nice beef ravioli, and this will take about 3 to 4 minutes to cook. I did lash out and I got one that was a little bit more expensive. It's a special occasion, I like the taste. And so the water's boiling, it has been salted. Let's put that in. It can always sit for a minute or two. I'm going to, whoops, the wrong lid. I'm going to put the lid back on and keep an eye on that because I'm very good at boiling pasta over. Now, in here, I've put just a little oil and I've actually, I've used a chili. This is looking a little bit disgusting now. It needs some more oil on there. And you can see the crushed peppers and chilies. I've had that marinating since Christmas. And it gives a nice spicy flavour to the oil. And I'm just going to the fridge because that's where I've got the ground beef. Now this is a little bit different because it's actually got ground beef in the sauce as well as the ravioli. So the oil is hot. Let's put that there. Let me just rinse my hands. I've touched raw meat. Turn the stove up. Now we just want to cook this until until it cooks through. So squash it down. And we want to cook it until it's no longer pink. Now, I'm using beef today, but if you've got a cheese ravioli or a cheese and spinach ravioli, it might be rather nice to use ground chicken or ground turkey instead of beef. That would be a little bit lighter with the cheese. So you can choose your meat. Just poke it down. I forget these handles get hot. Oh, poke it down like that. And I've got some chopped green pepper. If you've got peppers in and you haven't got a green pepper but you've got a red pepper or orange pepper, use that. So I just chop that. And we're going to cook that together until the beef is no longer cooked, no longer raw, and it's cooked. It doesn't take long. This is an extra lean ground beef that I'm using today. Oh, let's put that there. But if you're really looking, if you're really having to be careful with the fat or the cholesterol, as I say, use chicken or ground turkey. Ground chicken or ground turkey is fine. Let me just check the pot. Poke that down like that. Now, I'm going to add to this, just want to cook that like that. I've got some hot taco seasoning here, so I'm going to add that to it. But again, if you haven't got any taco seasoning, then just see what you've got in the cupboard, and you can use a little ground cumin, a little ground coriander, some chili pepper, some cayenne pepper, a little chili pepper, and a dash of cinnamon, and you've got a taco seasoning. So you don't have to go out and buy specially. But put it in with the meat so that it can roast. I'm going to add tomato sauce. Let's just put that in like that. Some tomato sauce. I say this is very, very simple. Some tomato sauce. And these are diced tomatoes with some herbs. They were the herb tomatoes. We're going to bring that up to heat. I'm going to turn the lid on, turn the heat down a little bit, put the lid on, and I'm going to season it and just let it cook. If you just bring this up to heat without everything being cooked through, the tomatoes will taste raw. Tomatoes need what's called cooking out. So let's just bring that up, add a little seasoning. This is my special seasoning, which is 3 of salt, 1 of pepper. I keep it by the stove top. If you've got, if it's only you and your husband and you've got some, a bottle of wine that's just got a little bit on the bottom, a little drop on the bottom, put that in and it will improve the flavour no end. There we are. I'm going to taste that. See if it needs any more seasoning. I can always add a little seasoning to the end, but I can't take it away. It's not got a nice spice to it. I think it's going to need a little more salt and pepper, but we'll leave that to the next few minutes. Look, you see, I'm turning it down. I'm just above low. I'm going to put the top on and just let that simmer for a minute or two. Let me have a look at the pasta. It's a lovely, light, fluffy pasta, this one. You know what? I'm going to turn that off. Well, I've got it on low. It's almost cooked. I'll turn it on low. It'll keep just warm. And whilst we finish off the rest of the meal. So that's the main part of the meal already prepared. How about that? Come on, back over here with me. So, what should we do next? Should we make the dessert? My favourite. So, in here, I've used half of the recipe. I've got an itchy nose. There we are. I've used half the recipe because there's only Derek and I. If I make more, I'm going to eat it, which isn't good for me. So, I've got 1 cup of ricotta cheese, 1 cup of cream cheese. That is the icing sugar. Now, I'm not going to put any vanilla extract in there because I keep a vanilla pod in with the icing sugar, so it's always nicely flavoured. And again, this can either be beaten by hand or with a mixer. So we've got cream cheese and ricotta, and this is going to be beaten until it's nice and smooth. There we are. Now, I've not added quite half a cup of icing sugar. Remember, I'm doing it by half because I'm diabetic and I don't like things too sweet. So I've just gone a little bit shy on the icing sugar. And so we're going to beat this again. There we are. Let's get rid of those. Let's put that over there. And we're going to fold in some of the chocolate chips. About 2/3 of the chocolate chips fold in here, like this. And the rest we're going to sprinkle on the top. I thought, what can I serve it in? And where's my glasses? And I thought, yes. Looks rather more elegant in, it's an old-fashioned water glass. I think I bought that set at a yard sale when I first came to Canada. It got little liqueur glasses and water glasses, and they got martini glasses, and I use all these for dessert because they're rather nice. So let's just put that in there like that. And we're going to keep these in the fridge until they're ready for use. We'll do 2. Clean the edge, excuse me. Like that. We'll have another one. Hi, Janet. I've just seen you. Had my back to the monitor. How are you doing? How's the garden going? I keep watching you on Facebook. Now let's see if I can pour this into here without making a mess. Yes, just about. And this is very rich, actually. Very, very rich. We're not going to waste any. There we are. Like that. Clean up the mess on the board. We'll put some of these on the top. You can either put some chocolate chips on the top, or grate some chocolate, or melt some chocolate and just run it across the top. Chocolate mint would go very well with this. And I have these because you need something to dip in and out, and these are a wafer with chocolate on. So we put one in one side, one in the other, and see if they're going to sink. And this is where a nice peppermint wafer would be rather nice. So one in that side, one in the other. And I'm just going to sit these in the fridge until we're ready to serve. Let's see if I've got any room. Oh yes, there we are. So let's just sit these in the fridge. Up there. Lovely. Whoa, one of the wafers wants to jump out. Let's get rid of that. Wipe my mess up again. I'm not the cleanest, have you probably noticed. There we are. And I'm just going to go to the back of the stove to give the meat sauce a stir. So come back with me. Come on, let's go and have a look. Beautiful. I'm going to leave the lid off because I just want it to thicken just a little bit. So it will reduce just a little bit. Not much. There we are. And so back to the drawing board. The salad. So I thought we'd have a nice glass bowl for the salad. And I found a rather nice romaine lettuce, and it's got some sweetness to it. It does actually have some taste. And so I just washed it and then put it into shreds. Now, when I used to make Caesar salad with the children, when I was teaching at the cooking schools, I used to get the little ones tearing up the romaine salad, the romaine lettuce for the salad, and that kept them quiet for hours. And then the older ones could make the dressing. So let's put, I'm not going to use all this. This is just one head. So it was rather, as I said, there's only two of us. So it will keep, the rest of it will keep in the fridge. I don't want to put dressing on all of it because it will go soggy. So let's put that over there. Now, to make the dressing, I'm just going to look. I can hear something bubbling. Turn it down. Now we're going to make the dressing, and I thought about this because a Caesar salad you can use anchovies. An anchovy paste normally goes into a Caesar salad dressing, but I know my children just used to go, ugh, and Derek goes, ugh. And I was a little bit concerned about a raw egg going in. So we've got various bits and pieces. I've got some, I minced garlic. Now, if you want to mince garlic very, very finely, you can squash your garlic, squash the garlic with your knife, sprinkle some coarse salt on it, and then chop. And the salt acts as an abrasive, so it will go very, very fine, and you can actually make a paste out of it. This is Dijon mustard. I happen to like the whole grain mustard. So Dijon mustard. Hi Heather. Wow. It's not very nice weather, is it? No, we could do your magic and wish. Oh, it's snowing really quite fast now, and we've just had a hatching in the little cedar tree next to the house. We've got a hatching of robins. They just hatched. They've been sitting there very patiently, and they're dashing backwards and forwards today with worms. So they've obviously had their hatching. That was lemon juice. Worcestershire sauce. That adds a bit of to it. And this is white wine vinegar. If you haven't got white wine vinegar, then use some cider vinegar. So whisk all this up together, and in here I've got olive oil. Let's put that. I love this pottery. I've got 2 pieces of this pottery, and 25, 30 years ago it must be, I did a lot of craft shows here in Merrickville when Si was running them in the community hall, and we made friends with a potter. I used to give him some of my preserves, he used to give me some pottery, and he made this, and I've got a little oil container. He made this, and we became quite friendly, and I love it. So it was made by a local potter all that time ago. Hi Heather. And so I've got olive oil in here. I'm going to drizzle this in like that, just whilst you whisk. And all we're trying to do is we're going to make an emulsion, and that's the oil and the vinegar mixing together. And again, let's just give it a big whisk. I'm going to get my bigger whisk. There it is, it's clean. Salt and pepper, a dash of salt and pepper, and there we are. And that's made an emulsion. And we're going to drizzle this all over the lettuce. So just turn over. I'm not going to pour it all on because I've got more lettuce. So we don't want to drown the lettuce, but we just want to make sure that it's all covered. And that will sit in the fridge. Oh, come on, let's do it. I like it. I like all the good stuff in the bottom. We can always add a little more lettuce if we want it. There we are. And now croutons. Caesar salad isn't Caesar salad without croutons. I must confess I didn't make these today. I bought them. And these are some garlic croutons. So let's just turn it over like that. I'm leaving these in the bowl like that. So if anybody wants to add more croutons, they can do. And we've got Parmesan cheese. So scatter some Parmesan cheese over the top. A quick mix. And that is the Caesar salad made. So where's my, here we are, my salad tongs, and that is that made. So it's, whoa, look at that. It's now ready for serving. Everything, everything is ready. We're going to go back and just taste the sauce. I've got that there. What time can I pick up dinner? Actually, we'll be finished about 3 o'clock, Heather, so I'll see you. By the time we've done takedown, it's about 3 o'clock. So, there we are. Let's go back, bring everything forward. I've got to just strain the ravioli. Now that's, you might hear me grunting because it's in my cast iron pan, so it's good for the muscles. So let's turn that off. My colander. I love the cast iron, but it's getting a little bit heavy for me. Make sure that it's drained well. We'll put that on there. That's ready. We'll get out another trivet. And this is where we're going to taste the sauce. So come back with me. Let's just have a taste. It has reduced nicely. Let's just taste it. It needs a little more salt. I'm not going to put any more pepper in it, but it just needs a little salt in there. This is sea salt. And we'll have another taste. It's got a beautiful flavour. It is quite spicy. If you don't want it as spicy as this, cut down on the taco seasoning. If you've got younger children in the house, they might not want any spice in at all. That's good. Make sure it's off. Right. Oh, lovely. As Derek said, he's looking forward to supper tonight. He doesn't always say that when I'm cooking. So let's have a look. We've got a nice bowl here. It should be large enough. We'll put the pasta in there. I'm taking a little bit out because, as I say, it's a little bit heavy. So let's see what we can do. There we are. I'm not going to waste those 2 little pieces of ravioli. There we are. I'm going to put this back on the stovetop. And now we're going to put the meat sauce over that. And I'd like to just pull down at the edges so that the sauce goes to the bottom of the bowl. There we are. Let's just pull it down like that. Lovely. There we are. Put that there. Clean up the butcher block. And now we're just going to put some mozzarella cheese. And I'm going to put some olives on. If the children don't like olives, or you know that you've got somebody coming for a meal and they don't like olives, you can always serve the olives separately. So I'm only going to put a few on. I like olives. I'm passionately fond of olives, but I know not everybody is. So we've got the mozzarella cheese. It's clumped on me. So just let's sprinkle some cheese, and the heat, that will melt with the heat. Some olives. I've got some sliced olives here. I'm using green olives today because of the colour. There we are. And so they're left over. They can go for, somebody can have them if they want to put more on. And, oh, excuse me, we dropped the, let me just give this a quick rinse. A pepper. We want to make it look attractive, so some sliced tomato just round the edge. It's not the best tomato. Cut some ribbons of pepper. Let's have a look. Let's put those in between, like that. And another one there. And what piece of tomato can I retrieve for the centre? There we are. And that is Mother's Day lunch. So please enjoy. I'm going to put some salad into a bowl. You see, I brought out the china for Mum. So let's just put a little salad in a bowl and see what it looks like. Mum can sit back with a glass of wine, cup of coffee, and really, really enjoy her Mother's Day meal. And look, the tulips, I think they're going to last. There we are. So we can serve salad. The ravioli with the beef sauce, and we mustn't forget dessert. I almost forgot it. Let's have a look. And dessert. They're going to pop out. You need a long Sunday spoon for this. Can you remember the long Sunday spoons? I've got some somewhere, but I don't know where. There we are. And there, dessert, salad, ravioli, dessert, and voila, that's it. We're finished. And so it's taken about half an hour to get together. So anybody can do it. So thank you very much for watching. Please stay safe and enjoy Mother's Day, regardless of the weather. And I will see you next week at 2 p.m. So thank you very much for watching. All mums out there, have a really good day. Thank you. One line for 20 bucks. Keep on playing, but nobody's paying. Well, down some nickels and some dimes. Boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, boom. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. They're paying me for 20 bucks. They can pay the rent on the money that you spent. You can't get by on 20 bucks. 20 bucks.
Okay. We're out.